She knows what happened, and she's trying to act like she don't know what happened and why she's not getting out. I'm sure they just didn't decide that she wasn't gonna get out based on nothing. But she is trying to call him and make amends and figure out like what's going on, letting him know that she's a victim in this just as he is. I don't buy not 1 second of it, but Scott soaking it all up because she has now validated the fact that she isn't just fully trying to scam him. And he says that, he's like, I feel like you were trying to con me. And then she does some reverse psychology BS and turns it around on him and makes it like it's his fault that he's thinking the things that he's thinking. And she's noted that he has her birth certificate, he knows her social security number, he has all her clothes. Now, if she hadn't said that he had her birth certificate, I might think that she's scamming him. But because he has her birth certificate, I feel like she might not be scamming him. That is the only silver lining of all of this, but right now it's real suspect. And Adam is like,
please note that Adam did not say a word. He just gave a look, and this is my interpretation of what that look meant.
How are you gonna let this girl make you feel like you're the bad guy for questioning her motives? Dad, this whole situation is fishy. If something went down, she should have let you know something had gone down. Now, granted, in prison, they don't give a F about the prisoners or their families. They're just really rude about the whole situation. So something easily could have happened and then not contact Scott and let him know that something had went wrong. I can't wait for next episode to see what actually happened with Lizzie and what's going on. All right, so let's move on to the next couple. Next, we have Mary and Dom. So they briefly introduce us to Mary. Mary is a Canadian woman. I don't know how old she is, but her and Dom met 6 years ago at a bar, and he defended her honor, and it was love at first sight for her. They spent about 30 days together. He got into a fight at another bar and then got locked up for 6 years. Now, that seems very fishy because I'm like, what happened? Like, did he kill somebody? Like, did somebody die? What happened to make him go to prison for 6 years for a bar fight? Did he already have something on his record where he was like breaking parole or breaking probation or something like that? I don't know. We don't know. So this whole scenario with Mary, it was really awkward. They didn't open it up and explain it the way they normally do. We haven't heard anything from Dom, no confessional from him, so we haven't gotten his POV of the situation, just from Mary. So it seems like right now Dom is just a person in pictures, right? Whereas the other couples, we got to hear from the person in the prison like pretty much right away. They got to have interviews. So maybe in Canada, like the rules are different and they're not going to let a reality show in to interview the inmate. Like that makes sense to me, you know? So maybe that's what happened. But anyway, so Mary is there. Mary has eyebrows that I don't agree with. She's had some work done to her face, but she seems like a pretty nice person. She's a bartender. She says that she's a wild child. She's always been a wild child. No one's gonna tell her what to do. She also says that she isn't the typical prison wife. Now, what that means, I don't know. Maybe she's still going out. I don't know if she's still dating other people, but she's with her friends, and her homegirl is like, you're dumb. You're making the wrong decision. Her homegirl is just there, you know, just pooping on her the entire time. And it's just like, why did you come on TV and just poop all over your friend in front of the cameras? Like, that was really weird. I feel like she should have got another friend. I mean, I get that they think what she's doing is dumb, but like, she doesn't have any kids, and why not wait for a guy for 6 years? Like, whatever. Like, let her live her life. You know, that's what I say. She is excited because she's going to have conjugal visits with Dom. In the States, you can only have conjugal visits if you're actually married, so I'm not quite sure how they're going to work that out, but you know, it is what it is if that's what they let them do. She's going to stay there for 3 days, get to hang out with him, and have all this sex in the world. I'm so happy for her. So she gets on a bus, takes a 4-hour journey up to this prison, and girl, they do not let her in. She is crying. And the reason why they don't let her in is because I don't know if she was at a bar or a party or something and brushed up against some kind of cocaine, but they said that she had drugs on her jacket and that they weren't going to let her in, that they were being really strict that day and that she couldn't go on any visits, even though she didn't have any drugs on her in her bag. And she says that she doesn't use drugs, but I'm like, if you're a party girl, it is what it is. Wash your jackets is all I have to say. What drugs is my question. I just guess cocaine because I'm like, that's the only drug that could be on you where you might not know it's there because it's in powder form, I assume. But yeah, so again, we don't have very much information about Mary and Dom besides what I just told you because the editing was terrible and it wasn't crystal clear as to what's going on. We are going to meet another couple because there is one more couple out there. They are just dragging this all out. I'm just like, can they give us a 2-hour episode? WeTV, can you give us 2-hour episodes? Because I can't keep doing this 1 hour of little information every week. Like, you don't need to drag this out that long. Give me some 2-hour episodes. You know what I'm saying? Give me some 2-hour episodes. So next we're gonna move on to James and Allah. So in this episode, James meets Allah's parents. Allah's parents, they have like a dinner for him. Allah's parents just want to make sure that James isn't some weirdo who's like pen paling women in prison and is going to take advantage of their daughter and possibly get her hooked on drugs again, because I guess that's what happened initially, that they haven't liked any of her boyfriends, and she frankly said she hadn't liked any of her boyfriends either, but like that James is a really good guy. Because I mean, from our point of view, we're like, he was in the military, he's an IT director, like he's good, but from their point of view, they're like, it doesn't matter, he still could be a crazy person who's trying to get our daughter caught up. Also, I imagine they see his crazy bug eyes and they might think he's on drugs too. James defended his girl in the last episode on Reddit. I saw a Reddit link that Kathy put in, Kathy put in, saying that Allah has ADHD and she was just really nervous because of all the cameras and she just got out of prison, so that's why she was kind of shaky and weird. So perhaps she's not on drugs, and that's great. He meets the family and says how much he loves Allah and how much he's connected with her. The family's just like, okay, that's cool. And then now it's time for her to meet his peoples. And so as we found out in the last episode, his father is a Chicago PD officer, so our former Chicago PD officer, and so he's really nervous to bring Allah around his family. So his first stop is to his friend Chris, and we met Chris earlier. Chris is asking all the hard, pertinent questions, girl, and it's making Allah very nervous, and it's making James upset, because James felt like Chris came at her sideways. I didn't feel like Chris did. I felt like he was just very blunt and asking all these questions. Allah says that she was prepared for these kinds of questions, and she still handled it very gracefully and graciously. She still shook his hand after they left. I'm gonna need Allah to stop wearing that belt. I'm just gonna throw that in right now. She keeps wearing this belt, and I'm like, girl, I know you've been in prison for 7 years, but that belt, take it off. It's not a style anymore. Stop it. It's too thick and you don't need it. James is upset. Allah is, has to have a cigarette afterwards because she's so like shaky after having the conversation with Chris. And I'm just like, it's gonna get worse. So, if this prepares her for that, it's gonna get even worse with his parents. So I don't know if they're like a family of immigrants and they're just gonna be really disappointed in his choices. Also, I heard some tea. Remember we found out that James had been married and it didn't work out. Apparently he has kids from that marriage. Now, don't hold me to that, but if he does, I'm judging him on a whole different level. I thought he didn't have no kids, so we gonna need to figure that out. I heard he had kids, and that is a cause for concern for me, because Allah doesn't seem like she could be anybody's stepmom. Alright, you guys, so that is the end of this episode. I mean, what'd you guys think? Did you guys think it was fun, exciting, boring? I felt like it could have been longer. They didn't give us that much juicy tea. I'm really liking this show. You guys are really liking this show. So if you'd like to join the conversation, please leave a comment down below. Also, I do have a Facebook group that you can join where I give a little extra tea. I talk a little ish. I'm a little bit more me in the Facebook group because I can be. It's a private group. You will have to answer questions. If you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to consider becoming a Patreon patron, please click the link down below. I have actually something interesting on my Patreon right now. So if you want to see me do some work, some comedy work, please check that out. I hope you have a fantastic day, and remember to be you, be true, and find your place. All right, bye.